What up? I'm back. It's August 14th. Today was fire, bro. I don't know why I have to start it like that every time. But today was fire. Like, really, it really was. It really was amazing. Today was crazy. Dude, why is every day so amazing? Like, it's so funny. I'm sitting here, like, looking at that little tree with the girl and the monster. Like, and, the day was freaking fire, dude. And I'm tired right now for some reason. I slept pretty good last night. I had a crazy dream last night. Dude, this dream was fire. This dream was ridiculous. So, this was the dream. Like, I only remember some of it because the other half of it I don't. I kind of do. I'm not gonna talk about the end of the dream. But whatever. This was this dream. This was the weird thing. I don't get it. It was almost like I was walking, like I was at a party, and the party was like in something kind of shaped like a theater, but maybe one level. And so there was like walls and stuff, and people were just piled up everywhere, just hanging out, partying, you know, just chilling. It wasn't like a big party, or it wasn't like a crazy party. Like, from what I can remember, I was like, whatever. So I walked through them, and I was talking to people and stuff like that. And I had a bottle of rocket fuel, is what I called it. And I don't know what it was. It was probably some type of liquor, and but it was clear, and we called it rocket fuel. And I don't know, man. I go outside and I'm just chilling by myself, and dude, I don't know. I drink this rocket fuel, and then like I literally just start flying everywhere, like all over the place. Like, just I could fly. Like, it was freaking fire, dude. And like everyone came out, and everyone was like watching and looking, and you know, I was just flying around doing whatever you do when you fly, and whatever. And that was kind of the dream. And then I came down, and everyone was like, oh, whatever. Like, and I was like, I told you I could fly. And I said, no one believed me. I just needed a little bit of rocket fuel. And I don't know. It was crazy. The dream was way more in depth than that. And it was really crazy because I kind of talked about it the other day, about kind of how I've told people a lot of things throughout the last couple of years, really. And I've said very specific things for a reason. And, you know, it's like now I'm fixing to fly, and I had a dream about flying. And it's like, I told you. I don't understand, like, why you guys don't believe. And then I told you I was gonna fly. I told you I was gonna soar. I told you all these things. But like, oh ye of little faith, like you don't believe in yourself. This is the point, you know. And that's kind of what Jesus was saying. It's like, you guys don't believe anything, and it's ultimately just because you do not believe in yourself, and you have to see to believe. You know, oh ye of little faith, like that's kind of the concept, and that's kind of what I've been just, you know, living. I'm not comparing myself to Jesus or Yeshua, or whatever you want to call him, whatever name that you choose to call him. But I'm just saying, like, that's the point. It's like I'd gone through the journey, and I was walking towards the invisible the whole time, because I knew that I lived a life based on what I could see. I thought that only tangible things were real. And I knew this may not have been the correct way to do what I did, but I knew that if for 35 years I lived one way, I had to live the opposite in every single aspect of my life. I had to touch everything. I had to get burnt by everything. I had to understand everything to see what I believe, to see what I come to find true. And now it's like, bam, I lived over here, and I started walking towards the invisible and just feeling. And I come to find out that that is more real than any of this other stuff. Because that's what controls this other stuff, this matrix, this stuff that we see. this fake material stuff. It's not fake, it's a vibration, but the vibration is invisible, and the vibration is what we see. We see that in a solid form, and it can be manipulated and changed. And you just got to figure out how to control that vibration. And I mean, and so like whatever. So then I end up, I'm hanging out with everybody, just like, oh, whatever. And I'm just like, yeah, whatever, dude. I told you. Like, I'm not like bragging or boasting. I'm just like, I told you. Like, if I can do it, you can do it. That's the point of Cody. I don't care about really my feats or my trophies or my things, because I still don't understand. I say I'm proud, but it's proud for a moment, and then what's next? And because I don't understand that feeling. I don't understand being proud. Like, I do and I don't. Like, even when I talk about being proud about something, like sometimes I cry and sit here in the moment of overwhelmed joy or accomplishment, but then it's over, and it's like I've just never learned how to be proud of anything, and to really be able to bask in it and sit in it. I just never understood it in general. I don't know. I guess I never really had people help me celebrate anything, and so like I don't think, like, honestly, like when I look at my life, it's like I've never really celebrated anything. Like when birthdays came around, I hated birthdays. I always felt like I didn't deserve anything. I always felt like I didn't belong to be there. I always felt like I was alone, that no one really cared. I was just part of it because I was just part of it, something to do with my mom. And so like these feelings, whether they're real or not real, it doesn't matter. That's what I felt. And I always just felt less than and different. And growing up adopted, I don't know why it was there, because like even now, it is what it is. I still feel that way with my family, and it's not, I don't reach out to them either that much, but I'm just trying to live my life now for once on my own. And like I said, I understand that it may look like I'm distant and all this stuff, because I am, first of all. And this is my time to live without them. My time to not be tied to them, and to step into my genetics, to step into myself for the first time in my life. And I don't look at it as bad. I could see what people would be mad about it and upset and think that I'm being selfish and mean. And to each his own. You do you. You guys got family, you guys got kids, you guys got husbands and wives. Like, I don't care. Like, this is my time. I gave my whole life, and that's on me. That's not on anybody else. Everything that I talk about is on me. And I made the choices. I became a helper because I was trying to seek love and validation from everybody else. And just to be needed and to be wanted and not be left alone. Even though I wasn't. Nothing but alone. And I get that now, it's like I said, I made the choice to live my life the best that I can on my own, and have to figure everything out on my own without all those other influences. Because those influences, whether they're good or bad, that has nothing to do with anything. It's my time to question everything. It's my time to figure out what kind of man that I want to be. It doesn't mean I have to be a good man. It doesn't mean I have to be a bad man. It's just what type of man do I want to be? What do I find true? What do I find real? And I hear a lot of things about, like, there's always one truth. Is there though? Is there one experience? Is there one experience? No. Every individual person has their own experiences. Now, there could be one creator, yeah. But to say that everyone else on this earth is going to die and burn in a pit of hell because they weren't born a white Christian makes zero sense. That's not how it works. Because what would the point be? To walk into instant failure. What would free will have to do with anything at that point? Because then it's not free will. Because someone placed you into something that is catered straight to win. And I understand that life's not fair. I get it. And it's not. And it's never gonna be fair. It's a roll of the dice. It is what it is. But for me to say that you're gonna die because you were born in another country and that I got adopted and I came over here to be, follow this Anglo-Saxon white American, that wears an A shirt and beats his wife, but he preaches on Sunday morning. Like, that makes zero sense to me. He cheats on his wife, but I gotta follow that man? Are you serious, bro? Have fun. You follow him. I talked about yesterday just kind of like who's really crazy here. Who in this world is really crazy? Me? Cody, who trusts no one other than myself and my creator? Or every man on the TV? Every story that I hear. And I don't question anything. I just blindly follow. They tell me to go get this. I sign up. I go get it. I don't even care about the fact that, we created something in a matter of months and we have zero idea of the side effects. And I just sign up and go down there? I just blindly follow everything and all things? Who's got real faith here? And what do you have faith in? Dude, you guys got some crazy faith. You guys are following other human beings into war? But you don't even understand why you're going. And I'm the crazy one? No. No, I'm not. Maybe I have some grandiose ideas. Maybe I'm still working out tons of problems and I don't know for sure on a lot of things. But I'm not gonna go jump off a cliff because they said it. I'm not gonna give my kids stuff because they said it. I'm not gonna take anything because they said it without me being able to even see results. I mean, I guess that's what the point is. I'll let you do it, and I can watch and see what happens. Maybe if it turns out good, maybe I'll do it in 5 to 10 years. If not, I lose nothing. I'm still here. I'm still solid in my foundation. I'm still solid and confident in my confidence, in me, in my ability, my understanding of things, my decision making. Not somebody else making decisions for me, and then I have nothing but shame and guilt because of the choices that I made, because I blindly followed another human being that followed another human being. Everything I talk about, like, it's give yourself time. You're fire. All the knowledge is within you. The Creator left you an instruction manual. He left you a phone directly to Him. But you have to give yourself time. You have to build a habit. You have to grow closer and closer to yourself. And in doing so, you grow closer and closer to your Creator. And you understand His voice. You understand His call. Because it's your call. And it's your voice. You've just been deaf to it your whole life because you've done nothing but run. You've never answered the call. Ever. And it takes drastic things in life for you to even cry out to hear the call. And then when you do that, you don't hear the call because you're just doing it and you're so stressed you don't even realize it when it does call. Because you haven't gave yourself real time. You haven't came to a point when you just go and give time, not wanting anything. I talk about when this stuff started, I'd be praying and out loud, speaking out loud and asking for things like I don't know what. And then one day I was just like, dude, I have no idea what I want. Like, I could want this, I could want her, I could want this, all kinds of items to make my life better in my mind. In this low level, 3D, thinking, logical mind. And then one day I was like, dude, this makes zero sense. If I make mistakes and I can't do right for myself, like someone told me, I don't know how to do right for myself. I don't know how to pick the right decisions. I don't know how to do good for myself. Why would I make the decisions back at that level of thinking when I was still learning about myself, where I wasn't trusting myself completely? I wasn't comfortable with myself. And then what happened was a trigger moment happened, and I was like, the only thing that I even want in life that I know is good is to be happy. I can see nothing wrong. I can see nothing negative with being happy. This was probably in December. So I asked to be happy. The next day, I've been nothing but baseline happy. And ultimately, it's peace. Just baseline peace. Yes, I get depressed sometimes, I guess. I get sad, I cry. These things are just part of the human nature. They're part of understanding. You can't be happy if you don't understand the rest. You have to have the duality. You have to have the opposites to appreciate when you're happy, to appreciate when you're joyous, to be proud when you conquer something. To understand, you have to work hard to get to those moments. And like I said, dude, I honestly, I'm trying to think in my head. I have not asked for anything else since then. I don't think. And I got it. You know, I don't see, like, what do I need in life? I could use money. You know. And now I'm capable of using it. Now I'm capable of understanding it. And I understand it's a tool. And how I choose to use that tool can make it either good or bad, or a positive or negative. You know. You know, so it just depends. It depends on the person. It depends on your level of understanding. It depends on your rules and regulations that you have in place for yourself. I don't know, maybe I should ask for something else. I mean, I trust myself more, and I understand my decisions are getting better. I'm understanding to pick good for myself and choose the right things. Every single day I'm getting stronger in that, and understanding what I really want. You know, and not what I want and what I need. And I deserve both. I deserve what I need, and I deserve what I want. But I'm not asking for wants either that are outrageous and crazy or negative. I only want things that are positive. I only want things that help other human beings. Well, they help me help other human beings. Because if, you know, I look at my life, and I guess the only really selfish thing that I care, but it's not even selfish, I would be, like I said, that helpmate or that life partner. Wouldn't want to call it helpmate. I don't know. I guess that's what you are to each other, as helpmates. To each other. That's what you're supposed to be. And that's, you know, that and kids. Like, that's the only thing that I could say would be kind of selfish, but it's not. I it'd benefit them. I would benefit them, and they'd benefit me. It would be equal, give and take. So, you know, and then that's it. I don't see anything else. Like, if I have money, like, if I ask for money, like, cool, but I'm going to use that money to keep building stuff to help other human beings. Like, I honestly don't know what else I need. Everything else is provided. Food, shelter, water. It's all working itself out right now. And it'll all work out in the end. And I'm just having fun, dude. I am living life, and it is nothing but fun. It's so fun. Even if I have negative moments, or I talk to human beings and it sucks, stuff they're going through, like, that's just part of life. And You just have to live in the moment and try and help them battle it, maybe give them a little lift. You know, sometimes you don't know what to say because it's just like there's really nothing I can say or do. And it took me a lot to get there. It took me a lot to get there to where like someone can tell me something and I have nothing to say to you. And it's not being mean or negative. It's just in my brain. I can't fix what's going on in there. It's not my job to fix it. And no matter what I say, it's not going to do any good. And I can feel it and I can understand. That the only thing that I can do is just be. Just let you know that I am here. Let you know I will listen. Let you know I will hold your hand. I will skip. I will hug. I will trip and fall to make you laugh. But I cannot fix what's going on in your brain. I cannot fix what's going on in your life. It's your life. And the way you perceive it's the way you perceive it. You're the controller of that. No one else is. You are. That's free will. And until you come into touch and in tune with that you do have control and you do control your perception, nothing's going to change. If you walk around the world acting like a victim, you're always going to be a victim. And you're always going to be passing the buck to someone else. You're always going to be blaming other people for your problems. And therefore, you have zero control. Because you gave up your control. You're giving up your control to other human beings that don't even know how to control themselves. So what makes you think that they're going to do good for you? They can't do good for themselves. And they say I'm the crazy one. I'm anything but crazy. Anything but crazy. I just want to help you. You call me crazy or not, I still just want to help you. That makes me crazy. Wanting to help someone who don't even know how to help themselves. Who don't even know how to listen. Who don't even know how to make good decisions for themselves. And I just want to help. I was there. I was the same dude. I was in the same shoes. Who went through life for 35 years and gave up control to everyone but myself. I didn't exist. I was a ghost. I had no idea who I was. I had no idea what I looked like. I had no idea what my presence was. I had no idea how big I was. I had no idea what I was doing. I was a zombie. I was waking up and going to bed and eating in between. Trying to survive. Just stuck in a rut, stuck in cycles. Just chasing after pleasures, after pleasures, after pleasures, after entertainment, after entertainment, entertainment. Never once being still or quiet and just listening to myself. Just being present with myself. Just even looking in a mirror. Feeding myself just whatever. Didn't matter, just crap, garbage. I still eat some garbage now, but whatever. I'm trying to eat healthy. It's all about balance now. So I just live a life that's, well, I do things that aren't as positive for me because I like them, but I don't do them all the time. Finding balance to enjoy this experience of life. We're not here to suffer. Like I said, I thought at one point in time that made sense based on religion. Suffer, suffer, suffer. You're supposed to suffer. No, you're not. You gotta suffer now so you can have eternity later. Really? You're just gonna walk on blind faith that when you do leave this earth, that you're gonna be happy? So it's okay to not be happy during your time here? Makes zero sense. zero sense. I mean, you can still be in a religion and all that stuff and then be happy. That's cool. That's fine. Do what you got to do. Every experience is different. Everyone's belief is different. I just choose not to have an external source control me. Because it's free will. That external source, the one that we cannot see, the invisible, the word, the vibration, the creator, who created me, gave me free will. And if we are his creation, like, how do you worship your creator? By doing the best that you can do in the time that you're here. To have the most fun you can have here. To help as many people and as love as many people as you can while you're here. Use the vessel he gave you. Use the mind that he gave you. Use the time that he gave you to show love. To show people what the creator made. To show people who the creator is. By acting out his will. Which is, his will is for you to be the best, most loving, kindest human being that you can be. That feeds the poor. That helps the widow. That takes care of the orphans. That guides the lost to the light. And that's the light of themselves. Life is fun, dude. Like, life is fun. Take the reins and ride your horse, bro. Don't let that horse ride you. You're in control. The horse is going to run you off a cliff. And he already has. You got to give yourself time. Real time. Every day. And the more you do it, the more you're just like, dude, this is fire. I love myself. I'm hilarious. I giggle all day to myself. I laugh at myself all day. I have fun. This morning I went and got some fruit at another place because this place was done. Closed on Sunday, so I went to another place and got like an acai bowl or whatever, man. I don't know. It feels good to eat fruit in the morning. It feels good to eat fruit and whatever. Like, this is healthy. And it makes me feel good. It's not heavy. It's, you know, I don't know, man. I gotta go vegan, I guess. I got to. And, or something, whatever. Just fruits and vegetables for the most part. Maybe fish. I think fish is fine. But, and then, you know, it was kind of funny. I was sitting there, dude, and this guy ordered after me, and, dude, he was just chilling, waiting, and, like, the girls skipped him, and I was like, you know, after a minute, I was like, dude, I think they forgot you, bro, and I wasn't mad or anything. I was just like, hey, man, they forgot you, because, like, I pictured myself, you know, like, I always let, you know, this is kind of weird. I always, like, he was just standing there, and time was going by, and I was just like, you know, he's not going to say anything. And I was like, I've lived in his shoes where, like, you let things go by. And you don't have to be mean about it, but, like, if you paid and you're waiting and you got a kid and a wife in the car, like, your time is precious. And if you paid for an item, like, you know, whatever. And this is me. You don't have to complain about it, but you can just say, hey. I was like, hey, dude, like, I think they forgot you because they done served 6 other people, bro. You know, like, you're going to be here for an hour, and then you're probably going to get mad and say something. I don't know. I was like, they forgot you. But I just saw my old self where, like, I wouldn't speak up, you know. And I would just sit there and be patient. And like I say, either extreme is negative. whether I'm an asshole, that's super negative, because there's no part in that. There's no reason to be a dick or an asshole 90% of the time, especially in a situation where they just forgot you. It is what it is. But there's also a negative effect if you just stood there for an hour and you never got your bowl. You know, and that's why I'm saying that I'm using real life scenarios where it's like, you guys have to understand, because I had to understand. I had to learn that I can't be lovey-dovey Cody all the time who loves everyone in this world completely all the time. It's not going to work. It's negative to me. And being that, you know, in order for me to be my best self, I have to be positive. I have to give myself stuff. I can't let things hurt me. I can't let things whittle at me. I can't neglect myself. So in situations like that, you just gotta be balanced, and you just gotta, hey, look, you forgot me, and it's cool, man. You know, and then that's it, you know. But I just remember I would be the dude sitting in the corner for an hour until they got done with everyone else, and then, you know, 30 minutes later, I'd get my bowl. And so to me, it was just me mirroring myself. Well, I saw the old version of Cody, and I was just like, you know, whatever. And it's just a lesson for me. All these things are just lessons for me to grow. And to just remember to have balance, to be polite, but also to not freely give everyone everything and be super nice beta little bitch, you know what I'm saying? And, because there's no point in being a beta bitch. Like, there's really not. And I'm as alpha, I'm not even alpha, I'm a sigma male. It means I just don't care. Like, no one has authority over me, no one has power over me, I could care less, I can have fun by myself. And, it's a weird way to live, but, it's fun. And, that's why I'm not a beta, I'm not an alpha, I'm neither. I'm neither. I'm me. And, at the end of the day, I do what I want when I want to do it. And, like I said, the only person that's ever going to have any control over anything like that is my life partner. And then we can equally exchange from that point. And then maybe I'll be not a sigma with her, but that's why I talk about the things that I do. That's why I said 1 + 1 is 3. It's the combination of, then you have two. It's like me, I have light and dark. And when I combine that with the yin and the yang, I created a 3, which is a separate version of the light and the dark alone. It's a blend. It's boom. I morphed into something bigger, into something better, to another entity that it's not just one extreme or the other extreme, but an equal give and take. And that's what relationships are supposed to be. They're not. Oh, they're not. They're anything but. But it's because no one has control over themselves. No one's done the time and the work in order to figure out who they are and to love themselves completely and to be confident in themselves. And understand that they have to be the best version of themselves for their other counterpart. And that's number 1. That's not number 2, number 3, number 4 on the list. That has to be number 1. It means my needs have to be met by me first alone. And then I can give everything to my partner. But I have to save myself first. You're flying, the plane's going down, you have to grab your mask first so you can be alive to help other people. But you have to be alive first. You have to be awake. You have to be in the right mind. Because if you're broken, if you're stuck in the trauma and you're letting somebody else control you, someone else is technically controlling your marriage. Whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's these young girls you look at, people sliding in your DMs, you're trying to get attention from other people. Other people are ruining your marriage. And it's not that they're doing it. You're allowing them to control your thoughts. You're allowing them to control your animal side. You're allowing other entities and other people to control your desires. And it doesn't mean that I don't have desires. It doesn't mean I don't have animal instincts. It doesn't mean I don't have temptations and all that kind of stuff. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you got to be able to control it. And everything you do, you justify anyways. Like every choice that you do make, like that's on you. That's not on anybody else. You have to take responsibility for your own actions, and that's the start of the battle anyway. And then just change it. It's not good or bad. It's just, yes, I'm responsible. I made these choices. I chose to be this. I chose to do this. I chose to go over to her house. I chose to take this random girl out, even though my wife's at home. I chose to go out on a business trip and then pick up somebody and cheat on her. You chose all of this. It's not. It's not a mistake. It's a bunch of choices in a row, over and over again until the act was done. It's not a mistake. You knew what was going to happen before. You knew the repercussions. We are brilliant human beings. We can forecast. We know these things based on the previous experiences or things that we've seen in this world. And we justify everything we do. And then we're like, well, I can just deal with the repercussions. And then you look at it selfishly, and then you justify what you're doing. Even though you have kids at home, you're like, well, I'm going to go have a night with this beautiful woman. I don't care if it breaks up my marriage. I don't care if it damages my kids, because I'm being selfish. And it's okay to be selfish. But there are real repercussions to things that you do. And they do affect other human beings. You can't blame that on anybody else but you. It is what it is. It's just life. It's part of this game. It's part of this game. It's so funny, like, we know all the rules. We know everything. I played so many video games in my life. Like, you step into a character, you play that character. You are making every decision for that character. At no point in time is someone else making a decision for you. I mean, there could be something where someone turns you into something, like, whatever, like, out of your free will. But, like, 90% of a video game is you are making every single choice. Like, that's literal life. Like, it is a mirror. It's the exact same thing. But yet we are so single-minded in our brain, we don't even correlate similarities. We act like victims for all of eternity. In some stuff you are a victim, yes. But you can take that stuff back and change it. You can jump into the past. Well, you don't have to jump into the past anymore. It's not even time traveling. You bring time to you. You bring that experience that happened in your past, in your childhood, you bring it up to the now, and you live it now, and you reshape it, and you take your power back from it. It sucks. Something happened to me. Someone did something to me. How do I battle that? How do I reshape it? Or how do I just get rid of it completely and just focus on the now? No, that's what's crazy about focusing on the now. But when you focus on the now, whatever, like, that's all that matters. You're not living in the past regret anymore. You're not living in the victimhood that you've had. You're not living in that one mistake that you think you made a long time ago because you call it a mistake, or that decision, or that choice. You're living in the now, and you're celebrating the now, and you're happy for the now. With appreciation or gratitude. And it changes everything. I mean, that's how I beat almost all my stuff with gratitude, you know? My mom passed away in August 3rd of last year. Like, instantly, that's what I did. Boom. I'm happy for the 35 years I had with her. And when I physically said that out loud, everything changed. Everything changed. So I was focusing on what I had right now. What I had for all of eternity was 35 years with her. I wasn't worried about the 2 hours she's been past. I wasn't worried about the week she's been past. I wasn't worried about the year that's gone by now since she's been past. It doesn't mean I can't feel those feelings and live in them in the moment sometimes when I need to. When I need to grieve a little bit. When it's okay for me to cry. I'm not on a job. I'm not talking to customers. and not having to focus on other things. But all I have to do is that if I want to, it just boom. I'm thankful for the 35 years I had with it. And then you look back at the good times that you had, if you want to do that. And you appreciate that you have those memories. You appreciate that you gave each other time, however it was. You at least had time. You at least had memories. You at least had laughs. You at least had arguments. You at least had. Some people don't even get that. It's not easy. But it's easier than you think. It just takes making a habit. It takes taking the reins yourself. It takes slowing your brain down and not allowing other people to make decisions for you. It's allowing you yourself to just kind of think a lot. You know, that's kind of what happened when I started. Like, someone asked me today what affirmations I used. Now I don't use affirmations anymore. Every now and then I'll say something, but I don't use affirmations because I'm me now. I'm it. I'm everything. I'm all things. And I guess that's an affirmation. But at first it was difficult, man. It was slowing down and really starting to watch the invisible thoughts go through your head. And yes, I don't. Some people see in their head, they see pictures, they see words, they can see stuff like that. I don't. I just know. And it's not that I see like a 3D words going through my brain, all these stories or movies. And most of the time I don't. And but it's because I'm such a big thinker anyways. I think about a lot of things at one time. So I'm thinking at multiple perspectives at one time to solve a problem. But you start to just kind of slow your life down, and you start to kind of just like think of your brain as a TV where the words come in from the left and they go across the screen. I guess that's the way they would go. Or not, I don't know. I don't know what direction they would go. They'd probably come in from the right and go to the left. My brain's different, so I kind of see things going the opposite direction. Maybe I am dyslexic. But that's weird. I've never thought of it like that. Because I picture them coming from the left to the right, and you would assume that they'd come from the right to the left. So whatever, your thoughts are going across your brain, and you can catch them. And you can bat them away if you want. You can, and it takes practice to do it. And like I said, I use gratitude to do it because like I would start thinking about mom, or start thinking about walking away from family members, or you know, bad situations, or all this stuff, and you know, I would just be thinking all day long, all day, every day, and like I would just start to use, like if something bad came up that I didn't want to deal with at the time, I would just use gratitude. I would literally just like, look, I'm like, dude, thank you for that tree. I'm grateful for that tree. I'm grateful for oxygen. I'm grateful for shoes. I'm grateful for clothes. I'm grateful for money in my pocket. I'm grateful for food. I'm grateful for this. And when you start doing that, you start controlling your thoughts. Because you get better because you learn to catch them. And then when you start learning that you can catch your thoughts, a light bulb will go off and go, wait a minute, I'm actually in control if I want to be. And then you kind of like the feeling of, wait a minute, I can control everything that goes through my brain. And you start I use gratitude because it's easiest. And it actually changes everything. It changes the vibration. It'll make you happier. Literally. Because you come out of shame and guilt, which is what you live in. Because you're always, when you live in the past, you live in nothing but shame and guilt for the things of the past because you cannot change them. It's impossible to change the past outcomes or the repercussions. They're real. They really happened. And that's kind of what you're shaming and guilting yourself over, is the fact that I did A in the past, it equals B, which is a real repercussion. And now I'm at C, and I can't reshape any of it. I can't control any of it. It happened. And D, well, yeah, you're at C, and you're like, well, my D, which is the future, can't be any better because I'm still dealing with all that shame and guilt. Because I can't forgive myself for the things that I've done. And so you just have to start living in the now and focusing on the now, in which gratitude does that. Gratitude is an action step. And when you take an action, it grounds you to the present. And when you're grounded to the present, you cannot focus on things of the past. And then you can't focus on things from the future either. Which is both extremes. Because the future is one extreme and the past is one extreme. So that means when you're in the now, you're in true balance. Because you understand that everything in the past has happened exactly the way it was. And there's nothing you can do about it. And this is where I came up with the idea of deeming the past perfect. And I don't know why I use the word perfect. I use the word perfect because perfect to me is the word perfect as in like absolute. Meaning I cannot change that, the outcomes of the past. Everything that happened is perfect. There's nothing I can do. I cannot go back with my paintbrush and repaint it. I could go back and change the movie, but it doesn't mean that's real. It's fake. And the actions happened exactly the way they did, and the repercussions are real because they dictate what I'm in now. And that may be really confusing, and you probably just don't even think about it like that. You just think about the past is perfect, it happened, nothing I can do about it. I'm living in the now. I forgive myself for everything that's happened because I cannot change it. There's no point in me giving up my power to the past because that's an extreme. And then there's no point of me spending all my time, all my focus, all my energy on the future either. Because I can't change that because it's not even happened yet technically. Even though it all happens at once, but I can't do anything about that. All I can do is control the now. I can choose to take a right, or I can choose to take a left out of my driveway every single day. Or go forward. Hell, you can go forward or backwards. Who cares? You can choose whatever you want to do. But you're choosing that right now. And right now is the only thing that exists. The only thing that's real. The only thing that's actually tangible. And I talk about the tangible not being that real, but it is what it is. I probably confuse you guys more than whatever, but I think different. But so all you can control is the now. Like all you can make a decision is now. So you have to capitalize on that. Because every moment that you dwell in the past, you're wasting the now. You're tick-tocking your life away. Your time. And none of us know how much time that we have. Time is the greatest commodity in the world. It's the greatest currency in the world. It's the only thing that even matters. Because without time, you don't exist. You may not have any money, but you still exist. But without time, you have nothing. You are nothing. Or you could be all things. I don't know. I don't understand. Time is. Man, time is actually. Time is Time is only relative. Time is relative to this plane and to this dimension. In all other dimensions, yeah, it's super weird because it's like time is tied to this dimension, and it actually goes through all the dimensions, but it's almost like this is the base timeline. And because this is the only timeline that's visible to us right now. If we're in the 3D. But I see time, like I said, as an infinity loop. And 3D is on that X. X marks the spot. And our 3D vision and perception is right there at that X marks the spot. Now, if you was to look at infinity, like an infinity would not be even linear like we see it. Like when we draw it on a piece of paper, an infinity would be encapsulated in every direction of all directions. So it would be more like a two spears together. And then the X in the middle, so they would intertwine. So infinity really needs to look like two balls touching each other and going in every direction infinitely. And then the X in the middle is all dimensions in all directions. So I don't know how many dimensions there are. I mean, some people say there could be infinite number of dimensions, and which there would have to be if that's what it looked like. If that's what the infinity really was two spears overlapping at the X, constantly looping for all. But yeah, dude, that would be crazy. So that's what an infinity is supposed to look like. We don't look at it that way, but that's what infinity is all things in all directions at all time. We could only just comprehend the 3D version of that, and we don't even comprehend that. And so that means you said we had it all. That shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings. So that's crazy, because that means every dimension is capable of more and more and more. So on the 3D, we're only capable of certain things. And then each dimension we go up, we're bigger. That's encapsulating the infiniteness before that dimension. And so, like you would say, if there's 1D, 2D, which would be other entities or other vibrations in that timeline, they can never go up, right? They can never touch. I don't know. If 1D and 2D work a little bit, yeah, they're trapped in it. So that could be like kind of what hell is, I guess. Well, like hell would be, it would just be below, which infinite, dude, it doesn't really matter. It's just infinitely high and infinitely low. As above, as below. And so we just call the plane that we're on 3. Which we will actually, it doesn't matter where we are, because there would be infinite dimensions below us and infinite dimensions above us. Maybe I should do some mushrooms. This is sober-minded, bro. Dude, I don't know, that's crazy. And so I guess each step you go up, that's crazy. So maybe the dimension that we're on is technically 0. maybe the plane that we live on in existence is technically zero. In which if the creator created us like that, then he could put a baseline on it where we're at zero. And then there's below us infinitely. And there's above us infinitely. And we're just dead center in the middle. And then, so depending on what direction you go, you would have more and more and more abilities, more and more. You can always. Well, I think that's kind of like in our logical brains, we're stuck on this plane in this dimension. We're just so level, like dumbed down mind-wise, and our powers aren't turned on. Are they, whatever. We're just not living our max potential, and so we only. That's crazy. And so this is what's crazy. And so every dimension is a video game. Every dimension is a video game, bro. And so we're on level 3 or level 0. I'm going to call it 0. That means there's another version of us on level 1 that's controlling our player based on his logic, on his mind, on his feelings, and he's controlling us. And it's just us. It is us. It is my creator, I guess. But in this instance, our creator is infinitely bigger than infinity. So I went down the road of what God was, and I said infinity is the biggest thing that we know. Therefore, God had to be bigger than infinity. And so whatever. And so if he gave free will, then he's given free will for all versions of myself. And so, like, if I'm at 0, then there's a player, Ready Player One. There's a player controlling this avatar that I'm in right now, in this level, on this plane, in this simulation. It would be a simulation, I guess. And he's ultimately living my life for me and controlling me, but I don't know that he's doing it. Because to me, in the video game, the character he doesn't have the consciousness to understand that his consciousness is actually outside of him. Like, I'm a puppet right now, but I am controlling myself. The bigger version of me is controlling me. And then this, dude, that's crazy. And then that loop, that system continues for all of infinity. Meaning that whoever's controlling me, which is myself, just a next dimension up self, is being controlled by another dimension above him. And so on and so on and so on for infinitely. And maybe what happens is, when my time is done here, then maybe it's like next level for the next guy, for the guy above me. Then he gets to live out and do what he wants to do, and he gets lost in the matrix. And then his creator gets to play the game, or his higher self gets to play the game. And it's a new level for him, and he gets memory wiped, and he doesn't understand what's going on. And he has to level up and beat the game, and then boom, it shifts to the next version, and to the next version. You constantly keep leveling up, and every time you level up, you're literally leveling up. You're stepping into another dimension, and the other person's taking control. And or when your time is done in this existence or in this simulation, and whatever. And then maybe maybe something else happens where they collab to each other, or I don't know, or maybe it's all going on at one time. I don't know. It's crazy. Like, it's endless possibilities because it's infinite. And like I said, that infinite has to look almost like the splitting of cells. And when it gets almost to the point where they're splitting, that's what an infinity would look like. with two spears splitting together, and then an X in the middle. That's infinity because it's all possibilities going on at once, and then it's just boom. And some of them intertwine. Like that's what's crazy is they intertwine in every direction at all times. So that's where you could get collaborations with your higher and higher selves at one time. I don't know, man. This is a lot of information, and it's crazy. Life is fun, and big thinking is fun, because ultimately anything is possible, especially when you live in the now and you understand that you can grab from any timeline that you want. Technically, once anything that you want in existence, anything that you can think of, if you understand yourself enough and you know that you need it enough, it's almost like you think about a car runs over a child or something. A kid gets trapped underneath the car and the mom just runs over there and just picks the car up. She is grabbing strength from other timelines. She's grabbing things that her body is capable of doing, and like these like superhuman feats, in which some of that is we have rev meters in us. You know, like your car can only go 90 miles an hour if they put a rev meter on it. If you took that off, you could go 130. But whatever. And so our body does that because it understands, and it's so high tech and smart that it knows that if I punched you as hard as I could, to my max potential, like my arm would come out of its socket. And so if you can tweak your rev meter, then you can do some crazy feats. But then also, if you're capable, if there's infinite going on from me, and there's infinite timelines and there's infinite possibilities that are within my consciousness that I can grab, and like, you think about video games, and you think about, you could pause the game and you could go and you could spend some money and buy an upgrade, and then you could unpause the game and you have that upgrade. It's kind of the same concept here, is where you can, if you think about it and you need it enough, and you have the resources or the energy to exchange for that item, or if you've done the work, or if you have a storehouse filled with energy like I do, and that I've collected over a lifetime, I can exchange that energy for things that I need, as long as I know how to get them, and I know the right steps to get them. I know how to get to the marketplace, I know how to whatever, do the auction house, I know how to buy the things, I know how to get them to my character. And it's just understanding the steps, the equation, the vibration, and then having the resources to exchange rate it. And that's this. And we're stuck on this 3D level. We don't even understand that stuff exists yet. Because when you think about playing a video game, that character technically is not doing anything. You are acting for him. He doesn't think. When the words pop up on the screen and it says, would you like to do this, or would you like to do this, or what question would you want to ask this innkeeper, you know, like, you're the one who's making him do the act. He's not choosing. You're choosing for him. And this is kind of the same concept. It's like, and you may not know all the rules of the game yet in the higher version. Maybe you see things from a higher perspective, but you may not understand everything yet. And so you're still trying to figure it out. So maybe even the next dimension above you doesn't know everything yet to tell you how to do it. And maybe you don't listen enough. Maybe you're trying to like take life by the horns on yourself and take control of your player, which that's what we've done, but we've just let other people control us. So now I'm taking back all my control from everyone else, and I'm giving it back to myself. And then I'm learning to listen. I'm learning to watch my programming. I'm learning to understand what I'm capable of doing and what I need and what's good for me, what's going to keep me moving forward through this map, through this game, through this adventure, and not get deterred and get stuck in old cycles. You know, not chasing after chaotic women all the time. Not chasing after women who don't know how to love, and I didn't know how to love, so now I'm capable of loving too. And the women that don't know how to communicate, or that just run from their problems all the time, or I'm running from my problems, or I'm trying to escape, or I'm using or have addictions, and I don't know how to give someone attention. I don't know how to be honest. I don't know how to tell the truth, and I don't know all these things. Like, it's same with that. It's like, so now I'm just not giving any of those humans time, at least with my romantic whatever, and because I understand that that's not good for me, and I want to keep moving forward and become the best version of myself, and I'm ready to level up, but I know that now that I've learned this stuff for myself, I don't have to do it. I can leave whenever I want. I can leave the level once I beat it. But I want to go back and help everybody else, because they're going to be here forever. And they're all suffering. I was suffering on my own. I felt alone on my own. I didn't feel loved. And so now that I understand these things, I'm growing more confident in myself. And there's still things here that I want to experience, because I didn't get to experience them before, because I was just living a life of suffering. I was living in hell. I was living in the hell that I chose to create and live in. And now it's like, well, now that I know this stuff, I can truly enjoy the rest of my time. And the best way for me to do that is to have new experiences that I want, which is like with a romantic partner and have kids, and I want to live that life. But also in doing that, I want to help other people to come out of hell and to take their life back, to take their power back. And I want them to be happy, and I want them to be able to live a true, authentic, happy life as well. Because what's the point if I'm doing that alone? Because then nothing's really changed, because I'm still doing it alone. And if I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it. And so, like, I need the whole world to be with me. I need all these people to be happy. Because otherwise, I'm never going to truly be happy, because I didn't succeed in what my purpose was, which is for me to find myself and find love and happiness in myself. And the only way that I can find complete love and happiness in myself is if I help the rest of the world become happy like I am now, because I was nothing but alone, and it sucks. It sucks bad. And now I've found that love's within myself, and I can enjoy life so much better, and I don't technically feel alone ever. The thought never crosses my mind. I mean, it does. I want these new experiences, yes. I would love to be enjoying getting to talk to my wife every night, my future wife, and getting to watch my kids grow, yes, but that's coming. I'm still having to get to the level that I can know for a fact that everything is ready, and she's ready too. And that she's not going to hurt me, and she's not going to break me. So I'm just being patient. And when the time is here, the time is here. And I can still just focus on myself until the meantime. And be capable to help her grow even more as soon as she gets here. And show her nothing but, honesty and trust. And then she has to trust me too. So like, especially me, because my energy's crazy, bro. Make people obsessed with your ass just because I'm crazy. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's weird. I don't know why everyone I talk to, like, they freaking stutter. Like, I don't know why I make people nervous. It's hilarious to me. But you don't understand it until you start, like, becoming aware, and you're like, dude, everyone's getting sweaty around you. Like, everyone, like, blushes around you. Like, it's like, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. I'm just, like, enjoying life, having fun, and just fucking looking people in the eyes. And just really enjoying and grateful and appreciative of the time that I get with them. Like, I'm the lucky one. But it's only because I love myself. And so in doing so, they feel nothing but love from me. And it's overwhelming. Like I said, dude, that little girl grabbed my hand and was just rubbing my hand on her face, dude. I was so fucking overwhelmed. I never felt anything like it. I never felt unconditional love from anyone like that. It freaked me out. A grown-ass man and my friend's daughter was just rubbing my hand on her face, and I'm just like freaking out inside. But that little girl knew that I needed love, and she gave it to me. And she healed a lot of stuff for me because I didn't believe, I never felt it from outside of me. Like, I was working on myself at the time. This was like around Thanksgiving, and I was starting to have unconditional love for myself. But it was like a baseline unconditional love. Like, it wasn't, like, I still didn't really understand it. I just forgave myself for everything and just like loved myself no matter what. And but it was just weird to feel it from somebody else, and it was just weird. It's overwhelming, so overwhelming. Like, real love is overwhelming because when it happens, you don't, number one, your old life is still going. You don't deserve this, first of all. What is this? Like, this is crazy. You don't, and it's ultimately just, you don't deserve this. You're not worthy of this. In which, from the day you were born, like, this whole earth, this whole simulation, this whole creation, this whole level, everything is here for you. The trees are here to produce oxygen, to use as firewood to keep you warm, to cook with, to build shelter, to make paper, to do all these things infinitely. The grass, the wheat, the water, the river, the dirt, the bugs, the fish to eat, to poop, to make more bugs, and to do all kinds of stuff. Like, it's so big. The animals, the deer, the birds, everything is made for us. So we can survive and we can experience life. And we have everything here that we need. And it should be free. The water should be free. The water freely flows. The water falls from the sky. And yet we have to pay to drink. We have to pay to bathe. Food everywhere. It grows on its own. Yeah, we have to pay to eat. Shelter comes from the trees. Shelter comes from these raw materials. Yes, we have to do acts to build something. But if we didn't, then what would the point be? You know, I look at it like, it goes with the free will. Like, the creator, like, he was like, if I made a video game that I gave you everything, like, why would you play it? There'd be no point in playing it if you got everything you ever needed and you just sat in a room. Like, what kind of life would that be? That would be none. That'd be the worst. And so everything that's implemented is you have to act. It's the act of experience. Experience is life. And you're giving so much time to experience things here. But it's not about suffering all the time, since day one. It's not about living in poverty since day one and always in survival mode and not knowing when you're going to get your next food and not being loved because your mom is always working just to provide you with a roof, water, and food. Like, and she can't even love you the way that you deserve to be loved. And she wasn't able to be loved like that. That's not what this life is about. It's about sharing with other human beings. And that's a whole nother point. Like, if we was meant to be alone all the time, then what would the point be? Because then we couldn't even procreate. So we have to be with people. It doesn't mean we at least have to be with them to procreate. And then kids are incapable of surviving on their own. So everything's implemented in a way where we have to take care of those kids and let them grow. But we got to protect them in the meantime. It's like the animal kingdom. If you watch, I I correlate the animal kingdom to humans a lot because it's almost like humans are so stupid that we don't know what to do. And on our own, and that's what makes us all sheep. We got to listen to other people because we don't know how to think for ourselves, they say, and it just shows that we don't. We have to blindly follow everybody. But I just watch the animal kingdom. It's very simple. You just watch how they do. They raise their kids into a certain age, and then they let them on their own. And then those kids run out and meet other animals, and then they procreate and continue on. But they eat, they sleep, they do shelter. That's it. And then they procreate. Like, that's what life's supposed to be about. And then have experiences of fun with your family, as you know, when you procreate and have kids, and then you protect them and teach them what they need to do to survive, and continue on and have fun in the meantime. You know, and some animals mate for life, some don't. And so that's why, like, it's like, I understand you can do whatever you want to do in life. Like, maybe you can have multiple husbands and wives. I don't know. It's not you know, I've thought about it, and I don't see an issue with it. Other than it could be more complicated, and as long as you have enough to survive, like, I don't see why it would be an issue. It's going to be more difficult, obviously, unless all parties are confident in themselves and they don't have to worry about, you know, feeling less than. It deals with confidence. Like, the only way you can even be in like a poly something relationship is like you all have to be super confident in yourself, and whatever. And I don't see an issue with it. I think it's more than capable of doing it, and you know, those are all just conversations you're gonna have in the future. But who knows? But right now, my goal is just for one person, and then if whatever, we can always talk about it in the future. I don't see an issue with it. It doesn't look like it would work out in the end, in the long term. But that's what I'm saying. I don't know. I mean, it's up to the people, and who knows? If you're mature enough and you're confident in yourselves and you love each other, and you can separate animal instincts and the other part of your life, then I don't see it being an issue. But then again, humans are wired that when you do have intimacy with people, you guys do bond. Like, there's dopamine receptors that spark and all that kind of stuff, and it causes you to have attachments for things. But so those are just things that you got to worry about, and see if you're man enough to handle those, or woman enough to handle that or not, and go from there. But it's whatever your desires are. Like, that's the point of the earth. It's like to experience whatever you want to experience. There are real repercussions to everything. But what do you want to experience? And then, as long, you know, and if you have a significant other, you got to be respectful enough and communicate enough with each other and be on the same page. You know. But whatever, like, it's endless possibilities. It's cool, man. Like, I would like to talk to some people like in that lifestyle just to see the logic behind it, and to I want to see the logic, but I want to hear them speak about it. I want to watch them physically. I want to see if they're not lying to themselves. I want to see if there is jealousy. I want to see if there is. I just want to. So I would need to watch a few people, because I want to pick up on the cues that they may not even understand, and where they could say that they're fine, but maybe they do get a little jealous sometimes, and maybe they do feel neglected. And that's a lot of it. I think humans, like, until you can fill your own cup, which is my cup is full on my own, but it doesn't mean I wouldn't. No, I don't know. You gotta have trust and communication. But then again, it's like that's why I say you fill your cup, and then everything else is a want afterwards. And that puts a whole new spin. It's almost like the gratitude thing. It puts a whole new spin on your relationship with humans. It's because I want to spend time with you. Not I have to. And that's big with adoption. And so like I look at my adoption and it's like my whole family had to be part of my family. And that puts a spin on things that are different. And that's where I get the guilt. Where when I choose people now in my life, I'm choosing to be with you. Like I'm choosing to accept you and to feel like family for you, and you're choosing me to be in your family. Like that's a want. We don't have to do that, but we want to. Like it's my pleasure to. I appreciate that you want to spend time with me. And I hope that you understand and appreciate that I want to spend time with you. It changes everything. Because you're not codependent on each other. You don't have to have each other. You understand and you respect each other's time and their person and their confidence and who they are. That they don't have to have you. They can do it on their own. But they want to be with you. And that's kind of the thing with me now is like, it's almost kind of hard to find another human being that understands and that truly understands that when I say I don't have to have you, I'm not being mean, I'm not being rude, and that any of that stuff. I'm just saying I don't have to. I've made it 35 years without you. I've made it 36 years without you. But I want to. I want to give you everything. I want to spend all my time with you. I want to do everything you want to do. I want to be with you. But I don't have to. I want to. And it's very difficult because we go through life thinking that we have to do these things. That we have to give someone love. Or that love is supposed to have to look this way. And so you have to break out of those old mindsets, old concepts, and you have to battle yourself and your programming and understand that we don't have to do anything. Just because you're my dad, it doesn't mean you have to love me. And even if you say you love me, it's not a complete love. It was a version of love that you thought you had to give me. Or maybe that was all the love that you was capable of having to give me, which may have not been much. And I look at my mom, it's like once they adopted me and loved me and then started going through stuff, it's like now she has to keep me. Now she has to love me. She doesn't have to give me a lot of love, but she does have to give me a little. And yes, she may have wanted to, but my perception was that she had to. And that my brothers and sisters had to love me. Not that they wanted to love me, but they had to. And I look at life now, and my relationships have changed over the last year and a half. Well, I'm understanding that people don't, like now that I perceive that I want to be with them, now I'm picking up that, like even my customers, that they want to be with me. They want me to do their work. Not that they have to. And not that I have to have them. Because I don't. But I want to do their work. I want to be with them. I want to spend time with them. I want to take care of their needs. It changes everything. I don't have to do anything, but I want to. And it's a pleasure to get to. It reshapes everything, man. It's fire. And then you just understand that you don't have to let someone abuse you. You don't have to let someone talk down to you. You don't have to let one steal from you. And it's okay. Because you're important. And your time is important. And you learn to love yourself and respect yourself. And you're not going to put up with that petty shit. And you're not going to get abused. You're not going to get abused anymore. You're not going to put up with drama and clowns. And you're going to start doing things for you. Things that make you happy. You're going to text people even though you know they're not going to text you back. You're going to just be your authentic self and just try and help people even though you know they're going to fucking ghost you. Even though you know they don't really care. But you're just trying to help them become a better version of themselves. And that's just my goal. I lose to try and help other people because I never really felt the help from anyone else. At least freely giving me help. Never. Like I said, but maybe that was my perception. And now everything has changed. Now I see people trying to help me. Now I see people wanting to help me. And that's crazy to see. But you can only see it when your perception changes. And you're willing to accept that that is real and it does happen. And there are people that are like you that do just want to freely help others. And they don't want you to feel what they felt growing up, which is alone. And not worthy. And not loved. And so now I'm going through the world like a little kid enjoying life, and I have all this stuff in my brain, and I'm walking it, I'm living it, I'm feeling it every day, and I just want to share. Because it's fun, dude. And if I see people that are struggling, like it kills me. It hurts me because I was there, I lived that life, and it's a very simple change, and it just give yourself time. Listen to yourself. Laugh with yourself, you're hilarious. Do things you love. Go skip. I went to the park today, man. And I went and ate that fruit, and then I went to the park, and I just, said hi to my trees and just kind of did my little lap, listening to my talk from last night. And then I just walked down the path, and I sat at the lake and was just watching the lake for a minute. And then I got up and I went to this little creek spot, and I just I'm just gonna go down there and put my feet in the water. So I just went and sat in the water, and then I saw this rock, and it's a big rock, and I took a picture of it, and I saw a big rock, and it had all these little divots. It had tons of divots in it, like shapes, weird stuff, and so I just started picking up rocks, and it was so crazy. I started just picking up every single rock that was around my feet. And I just started picking up rocks and just placing them in these divots based on the shape. And it was like the greatest puzzle ever. But everything worked out exactly the way it was supposed to. Every single rock I picked up had a place. Every single rock that I picked up had a groove that it fit in. Maybe not super perfect, not to perfection, but one that made it sturdy, made it safe, and it locked it in place. So I did this. I did the whole rock. It's a big rock. It's probably like a 2 by 3 foot rock. Like, and it's kind of maybe a triangle shape. And so I did the whole thing, and it's like in my head, I'm like, dude, like it's like humans. It's like every stone has a groove to go in, and you can either keep running around the world like a chicken with its head cut off, or you can go sit in the groove and be happy with all the other people in grooves, and where you're sturdy, and you're not alone anymore. You're living with all these other people, and they all found their groove, they all found their flow, they all found their spot, and they're all happy and enjoying life. They're not running around like a chicken with their head cut off trying to survive. And we can help each other because we're all on the same rock together. We all have different skills, we all have different places, and we all have different spots. We all can just come together and help each other. And it took me a while. I don't know how long it was. Maybe an hour and a half. I don't know. I don't even care. I was there for a long time, and I was just put in the water and whatever. It was just fun. Like just being a kid, just being still, just being with yourself, just doing something in nature, man. And whatever. I got done with that, and I started walking back, and the sun, it's like a canopy, and it's like trees on each side of the sidewalk. And I started walking back, and like the sun was coming through the trees and just producing these freaking fire ass shadows on the on the walkway, and I started taking pictures because to me, like, I have the word light. You know, I am light. I am infinite light. You know, so I have light tattooed on my right arm, and it's the first word on my arm. And when this journey started, I created these commandments for myself. I don't know, they just came out of me. I don't know. And ever since I was little, I wanted my commandments on me, and that's how I'm gonna word it. When I was little, I wanted God's commandments on me, and like I said, God and I am. He's my creator, so we are one. And these are my commandments that came out of me, and therefore He put them in me. So that's kind of how it works, a transitive property. But whatever. So I've always, you know, I don't know where the light came from, other than it was just the word. And I don't know why I thought that I was light or am light. I don't know. I just am. I know. I intuitively know. And I knew then when I wrote these commandments and put them on my arm. But for me, I've always looked at, you know, like the light, like, you know, it illuminates. It shows what's in the dark. But to me, it's always been bigger. And I've always been infatuated with shadows. Kind of like the Peter Pan type stuff. Like, shadows to me is real. Number one, I was born in the dark and I understand the dark. And a shadow is just dark. It's not good, it's not bad, it's just dark. But to me, when something produces a shadow, you have to have light. And so light beams on something, and then it produces a shadow. I always say, and I always think that the shadow to me is more real, and it tells me more about what I'm looking at than what's illuminated in the light. Because what's illuminated in the light, there's still areas that it can hide. And it's not, even though you shine light on something, it's still not telling you what's inside. It's still not, you know, the light just brings things to the light, but it also produces a shadow. And you got to go face the shadow to overcome what's real, what's still being hidden. You know, and that's the true thing that you have to do. Like this, like you have to face your shadow, and you have to overcome it. And your shadow is your past, but it's staying there, and you just got to go face it. You got to go live in that shadow, and change it. Like you have to jump into that darkness. Like you have to go back into the shadow to overcome all that stuff that you still don't see, that the light doesn't produce. The light produces a silhouette, but the work has to be done in that silhouette. You have to go into that silhouette, because that's what's real, the invisible. Because the shadow just, or the light just hits solid items here. And that's still stuck in the 3D. That's not what matters. That's not the visible. You gotta go to the shadow. You gotta go have fun in the dark, baby. It's fun in there. Dude, shadow is crazy. The darkness is fun. Everyone knows this. They're just afraid. But what are you afraid of? It's you. It's yourself. You like the things that you've done. You like all of it. Otherwise, you would have done it. You gotta take responsibility for your own actions. And then you can just choose from that point. Do I want to continue to do this? Do I want to do that? Do I want to do this? And then choose. Don't let something rule you. And then understand that you can have balance. You can continue to do some of the stuff that you like to do. It's okay. You know, as long as you don't infringe on somebody's free will. That's why I like it. Like I mean, I know that's what I kind of do. I walk around the world and I produce a light. And that light produces a shadow. And so I bring, what I do in this world is I walk around the world, I am light, and I make people see their shadow. And then from that point on, it's their choice whether to continue to live with that shadow, which is hell, which is their problems, which is their issues, or they can go into the shadow because I just made it for them. I just showed them their shadow. That's it. That's where you gotta go. You gotta go face that. I can stand out here and help you because I'm the light. I'm showing you how to get in there. I'm showing you what you need to work on. I'm showing you what you gotta face. You gotta face yourself. You gotta face that shadow. And that's why, like, when you're a helper, like, I used to try and take care of people's shadow. I used to go try and fix it. And it would do no good. Because I can't fix your shadow because I'm the light. And if I go to the shadow's just going to be produced on the other side of you. And so it's almost like, by me giving myself time, I created my own shadow. Or the creator created the shadow for me. But I had to go and give myself time. And then in doing so, when I gave myself time, I was giving the creator time, and he was like, well, now I'm going to illuminate this for you. Because you're going to sit here long enough to look at your shadow. And you're not afraid of your shadow. And you're giving yourself time, you're lighting yourself up, and you're producing your own shadows 360 all the way around you. Now you got to face them. And it's fun. It's fun. It sucks. You cry. You cry like a little bitch. I mean, you do things. You feel your feelings, and you're not supposed to as a man. Like, you grow up, and you're like, you can't cry. You're a dude. You're a man. You got to be tough. You can't show emotions. Dude, that's farthest from the truth. If you want to be a strong human being, you got to learn how to manage your emotions. Emotion is energy in motion. It's nothing but energy. It's power. It's straight power. And once you understand how to control your emotions, no one can control your emotions anymore. It's super weird, bro. It's kind of what sucks right now. It's like if me trying to find a life mate or whatever. Like, my emotions are so not controlled by other people. It's really hard to not be stoic with humans sometimes. And because as humans we mirror each other, but the issue is I'm a big ass mirror, and I'm not mimicking people a lot. I do mimic. A lot of times I just give them what they give me, but their emotions don't control me. So, like, it's hard to read people's cues when the person you're sitting across from doesn't have cues. And I don't have a lot of cues because I'm not getting... Like, when I'm with humans, we learn to get reactions out of humans. And then that's how we read their reactions to know kind of what's going on. Like, but I don't, a lot of times I don't produce those because I kind of like the manipulation tactics that all humans use to kind of gain power or to gain influence or to get reactions out of humans. They don't have power over me. And so, like, I don't react to them. And so it's hard for people to sometimes even, like, pick up cues if I like them or if they like me, like, because they're just confused. Well, but we confuse each other. And we confuse each other because we literally mirror each other. And if I'm stoic, then they're going to mirror my stoicness. And then we're just going to be confused because we're not getting the cues that we need to feel confident enough to put one step forward, you know, or to take the next step. And I understand I do this. And it's just weird because it's like, I've never done this before. And I watched myself do it where people try and get reactions because they use, you know, sometimes they use the victim card and they want to get sympathy from you. And I have zero sympathy sometimes when people do that because I understand it's not real, or it's something that, like, I look at them as, like, you're not a victim, you're strong, you're powerful, you're amazing. I see you as a max potential type of person, and so when you use, like, low level entity type shame and guilt, it has no effect on me, and I don't partake in it. I don't I just allow it to happen. I just don't react. I respond, and my response is just blank because there's no reason to respond. I'm not gonna give you a trophy for using something that's got you through life that literally means nothing, and it's just manipulation tactics. It's worked for you. It's fine. It's not good or bad. I'm just over that, and it's just not gonna work on me because I want to see your true, authentic self, and I want to see your character. That stuff is not what I'm looking for. I'm going to allow you to do it because I understand it's based on your experiences growing up. But I see past that, so I don't react to that. And it's really weird now that I'm talking about it. And this is why I talk. It's because this stuff is for me. At the end of the day, everything I talk about today it's for me to become a better version of myself so I can help more people. And then putting this on the internet, other people can hear it. And hopefully they get something from it. And then they just understand how important it is to give themselves time. But and that's why it's like once you get past all the old petty stuff, which I call it petty, old Tom Petty, but I call it pettiness because it's I live like a child, bro. But I think my child is stronger than my human self or my adult self. I know he is, and I know that all human beings are nothing but children with experience masked over the top of that face. You know, it's like the Lost Boys and Peter Pan. Like, technically, we never do grow up. And if anything, you could look at Peter Pan as like, Peter Pan is just the child version of the pirates. Well, they're just mirroring each other. They just have their counterparts. And you know, one version stayed a kid, and one version became an adult, and they're just battling themselves. You know, where Captain Hook would technically be Peter Pan. And they're just opposites of each other. One who went through life experiences and got tainted, and one who was still a child and trying to do everything in his power to stay a child. And I never looked at it like that, but it makes sense to me now. And that could be the idea behind it. I don't know. But I mean, life is cool, man, and we're all kids, man. And like I talked to a dude to talk about it today, man. Me and him had, I don't even know how long conversation. He actually got in trouble because like me and him were talking. And he's a cool dude, man. Like, life is fire because he was like, he's like, you're just not an introvert. Like, you're not an introvert at all. I was like, dude, I was like, a year and a half ago I was like, but I just started giving myself time, and now I have something to share, and that's part of my purpose. And I want everyone to just understand that it's about giving yourself time and becoming your best version for the rest of the world and your kids and he has a daughter, and he's like, I get it now. I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you have to be the best version for yourself. You have to be the happiest for you, and in doing so, your kids are going to react to that. They're going to respond to that. They're going to pick it up, and they're going to understand that their dad is happy. And I want to be with my dad because my dad is happy. He's not negative. He's not doing this. He's not doing that. And maybe we do whatever. And it's okay. And I kept telling him, it's about balance. It's okay to do these things. It's okay to be this way. It's okay to experience life. That's what we're here for. We just can't allow one single thing to control us. We have to be the controller of our own chaos. And chaos is fine. Just control it. Just control it. Man, this talk's been long, bro. It's a good talk. And today was fire, man. Like I said, I went and did that, and I took the shadow pictures, dude. There's so many, and they're so crazy because they're like some in-depth black and white stuff. Like I said, the darkness for me, the shadow for me has always been very important because to me that's what's real. And it's more real than the visible, and it's more real than the light. The light is just shining light on something so you can see the shadow, see the things that you got to do the work on, and the things that only you can work on. No one else can do it for you. And I kind of look at life, man, and it's just like, it's so cool, man. It's so fun. Everything is perfect, and everything happens exactly the way it's supposed to, and just living the dream, man. I used to say I was living the dream. I used to say I was living somebody else's dream, and I was being so honest. I was being so honest, and I didn't even know it. Because I was living somebody else's dream, the American dream, which is a fallacy. Which is somebody else's dream because it's the American dream. It's not Cody's dream. Cody's dream is different. Cody's dream is whatever I want to dream. Whatever I want to do. Without outside influences. Without the way the money system works. Without all this crap that I had no control over. Because now I'm living my dream. And it's fun. And I'm ready for the extra person. So we can live our dream together. So I can co-create. Because that's the point of being here. Is to co-create with the rest of the world. And to co-create with one person. At least right now. I don't know how that works. You could, whatever, you could co-create with a lot of people. It's just more difficult. It just doesn't make any sense to me. It's hard enough to deal with yourself, let alone deal with many people. You know, like that just makes zero sense. I don't think I want the headache of that. Is it okay? Yeah. But do I want the headache? No. Not unless we were all on the same level. Maybe that's the future. Right now, I just need one. I'm not greedy. And it's gonna be cool, man. It's fun. It's getting closer every day, and these trees look crazy. And it's getting late, man. It's 10:20. This is a 2-hour talk, so almost. But whatever. My paintings were fire, dude. It's a story. It's got 2 horses in it. It looks like maybe an elf woman. I don't know. It's like almost like a video game, man. And I kind of talked about, like, I think these are past lives or past epics, past something, and they're real. And I think because they're coming out of me, they're out of my imagination. I'm not even producing. So when I'm pouring my paint on my thing, and it creates a shadow, and then I paint off those shadows. Whatever story it depicts randomly. You would say, or it just pops out of nowhere. I don't see it. I see the shadow. And it's all based on me literally randomly dropping paint. Technically, you would say it was random. It's not random, obviously. But it's amazing. And maybe people will understand it, maybe they won't. But this story is, for me, it's a love story. The greatest love story of all time. And this love story is over freaking lifetimes. That's one of my purposes to be here, is to create the greatest love story of all time. And I'm not creating it, I'm experiencing it. I'm living it. It's real. It's my dream, and I am creating every inch of it. And evidently my counterpart is out there creating it as well. It's amazing. It's going to change the world. It is changing the world. I'm changing the world. And if I can do it, then you can do it. Because you're a monster. And I'm a monster too. I holla. Love y'all. Peace. Outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. She says, let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken, but it always ends the same. You said we had it all.
that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. Last semester's over, parents in Minnesota, Chicago's waiting for job offers on the table, and she tells all her friends that's why they think we're stable. But I got plans of my own, but better with no label. And I'm loving the way that you move to my vibe and you dance to my songs, but I feel like it's about to be me who goes off and does something so wrong. No, I take it for granted. Knew I'd be breaking your heart, so I vanish. Soon as you walk out that door, I panic. See, I'm never gonna understand it. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. My heart, she's stealing, manipulating my feelings, darling. Something's gotta be different. I can't stand this feeling hardly. See the point to be living if you just got me wrapped in circles. But I stand while you sitting. Speak my mind cause it's on, it's all about you. Hey, saying you want my name, got no soul to play with. It's a crazy game when you got no child, but you still gotta deal with childish shit all day. Still I want you through these nights we lay away. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. And when we get together, she says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken, but it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. She says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken, but it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. Last semester's over, parents in Minnesota, Chicago's waiting for job offers on the table, and she tells all her friends that's why they think we're stable. But I got plans of my own, but better with no label. And I'm loving the way that you move to my vibe and you dance to my songs, but I feel like it's about to be me who goes off and does something so wrong. No, I take it for granted. Knew I'd be breaking your heart, so I vanish. Soon as you walk out that door, I panic. See, I'm never gonna understand it. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, different. I can't stand this feeling, hardly see the point to be living. If you just got me wrapped in circles, but I stand while you sitting. Speak my mind cause it's on, it's all about you. Ay, saying you want my name, got no soul to play with. It's a crazy game when you got no child, but you still gotta deal with childish shit all day. Yeah. Still I want you through these nights we lay away. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. And when we get together, she says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken, but it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. She says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken, but it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. Her last semester's over, parents in Minnesota, Chicago's waiting for her. Job offers on the table, and she tells all her friends that's why they think we're stable. But I got plans of my own, but better with no label. And I'm loving the way that you move to my vibe and you dance to my songs. But I feel like it's about to be me who goes off and does something so wrong. No, I take it for granted. Knew I'd be breaking your heart, so I vanish. Soon as you walk out that door, I panic. See, I'm never gonna understand it. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. My heart, she's stealing, manipulating my feelings, darling. Something's gotta be different. I can't stand this feeling, hardly see the point to be living. If you just got me wrapped in circles, but I stand while you sitting. Speak my mind cause it's on, it's all about you. Ay, saying you want my name, got no soul to play with. It's a crazy game when you got no child, but you still gotta deal with childish shit all day. Yeah. Still I want you through these nights we lay away. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. And when we get together, she says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken. But it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. She says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken. But it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. Last semester's over, parents in Minnesota. Chicago's waiting for job offers on the table. And she tells all her friends that's why they think we're stable. But I got plans of my own, but better with no label. And I'm loving the way that you move to my vibe and you dance to my songs. But I feel like it's about to be me who goes off and does something so wrong. No, I take it for granted. Knew I'd be breaking your heart, so I vanish. Soon as you walk out that door, I panic. See, I'm never gonna understand it. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. She's stealing, manipulating my feelings, darling. Something's gotta be different. I can't stand this feeling, hardly see the point to be living. If you just got me wrapped in circles, but I stand while you sitting. Speak my mind, cause it's on, it's all about you. Hey, saying you want my name, got no soul to play with. It's a crazy game when you got no child, but you still gotta deal with childish shit all day. Still I want you through these nights we lay away. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. And when we get together, she says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken. But it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. She says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken. But it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. Her last semester's over, parents in Minnesota. Chicago's waiting for her, job offers on the table. And she tells all her friends that's why they think we're stable. But I got plans of my own, but better with no label. And I'm loving the way that you move to my vibe and you dance to my songs. But I feel like it's about to be me who goes off and does something so wrong. No, I take it for granted. Knew I'd be breaking your heart, so I vanish. Soon as you walk out that door, I panic. See, I'm never gonna understand it. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. My heart, she's stealing, manipulating my feelings, darling. Something's gotta be different. I can't stand this feeling hardly. See the point to be living if you just got me wrapped in circles. But I stand while you sitting. Speak my mind cause it's on, it's all about you. Ay, saying you want my name, got no soul to play with. It's a crazy game when you got no child, but you still gotta deal with childish shit all day. Yeah. Still I want you through these nights we lay away. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. And when we get together, she says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken. But it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. She says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken. But it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. Her last semester's over, parents in Minnesota. Chicago's waiting for her, job offers on the table. And she tells all her friends that's why they think we're stable. But I got plans of my own, but better with no label. And I'm loving the way that you move to my vibe and you dance to my songs. But I feel like it's about to be me who goes off and does something so wrong. No, I take it for granted. Knew I'd be breaking your heart, so I vanish. Soon as you walk out that door, I panic. See, I'm never gonna understand it. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside there's no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. something's gotta be different. I can't stand this feeling, hardly see the point to be living if you just got me wrapped in circles. But I stand while you sitting, speak my mind cause it's on, it's all about you. Ay, saying you want my name, got no soul to play with. It's a crazy game when you got no child, but you still gotta deal with childish shit all day. Yeah. Still I want you through these nights we lay away. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. And when we get together, she says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken, but it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. She says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply just tell her whatever we had is broken, but it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. Last semester's over, parents in Minnesota, Chicago's waiting for her, job offers on the table, and she tells all her friends that's why they think we're stable. But I got plans of my own, we're better with no label. And I'm loving the way that you move to my vibe and you dance to my songs, but I feel like it's about to be me who goes off and does something so wrong. No, I take it for granted, knew I'd be breaking your heart so I vanish. Soon as you walk out that door I panic, see I'm never gonna understand it. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. My heart, she's stealing, manipulating my feelings, darling. Something's gotta be different. I can't stand this feeling, hardly see the point to be living if you just got me wrapped in circles. But I stand while you sitting, speak my mind cause it's on, it's all about you. Ay, saying you want my name, got no soul to play with. It's a crazy game when you got no child, but you still gotta deal with childish shit all day. Yeah. Still I want you through these nights we lay away. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately, but behind closed doors I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. I'm a fool for your love. And when we get together, she says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you leave out the hoping. Wish I could simply usually just tell her whatever we had is broken. But it always ends the same. You said we had it all, that shit would drive me crazy. Cause outside is no feelings, baby. You say it's hard to tell what I've been thinking lately. But behind closed doors, I'm a fool for your love. She says let's make this open. Relationships are better when you